Hey there! Welcome to Above the Noise with the Profitability Pathmaker. I'm Christy Wilson, your host, friend, and guide on this exciting journey we're about to embark on together. If you've got big dreams of scaling your business, innovating like a pro, and creating a personal brand that sticks, well, you're in exactly the right place. As someone who's navigated the highs and lows of business growth, I'm here to share not just my insights, but also wisdom from the forefront of entrepreneurship and innovation. From the essentials of starting small to the complexities of venture capital, tech advancements, and the art of personal branding, we're diving deep into what it really takes to stand out and succeed in today's fast-paced world. This podcast is for the bold and the ambitious, from startup founders to C-level executives looking to elevate their business. So join us as we explore actionable strategies, practical tips, and real-world success stories designed to inspire and empower you. So grab your favorite cup of coffee and let's cut through the noise together. It's time to make your business not just seen, but truly memorable. Are you ready to dive in? Let's go. Welcome back to Above the Noise with Josh and Christy. So today we're actually going to focus on the dreaded sales for small business owners. One of the big things we hear from a lot of my clients, a lot of our clients, is that sales is so tough. It's something that business owners dread. It feels icky. And really, sales should be a discovery session, a conversation. It should be an opportunity to offer someone something that they want, that they're looking for, ultimate results, a transformation. And so if we shift our perspective and approach sales differently, it doesn't have to come with that ick feeling. It doesn't have to come with that, what'd you call it before?
The used car salesman feeling. If you're trying to push someone into one of the things that you have to sell, regardless of whether that's the best fit for them or not, that's where the icky feeling comes from.
Agree. Sales got a bad reputation because it's associated with high pressure. It's associated with manipulation and dishonesty. It's associated with that dreaded hard sell, like you said. And the reason for that is because the salesperson or person selling is often focused on themselves instead of the other person, in my opinion, at least. When you shift your perspective to look at the fact that your marketing, and we'll touch on this in another episode, but your marketing should be the magnet that attracts your ideal customers in. So most of the people, if they're booking a discovery call with you or they're wanting to sit down with you and talk about things, there's a reason, right? They probably want what you have to offer. So now it's just presenting it so that you're able to offer that opportunity to assist with the end result or to assist with that transformation, and really just naturally segueing from one section to the next, one piece of the process to the next, right?
Well, like I said, if you're trying to push the customer into something that you have for sale that may not be the best solution for them, I think that's where the icky feeling comes. I mean, I think I've told you this story before, but many years ago, I'm in Brazil with one of my guys that we're on a Boeing sales call, sales visit, and I'm kicking him under the table. We can't do that kind of classic sales guy, IT guy disputes, and that's where the problem comes from. If you're, as Christy says, having a conversation with somebody and actually looking to fit what they need, then the ick factor goes out the window, because now it's just two people talking. And at the end of the day, if I don't have what you're selling, what you're looking for, it was nice meeting you, and I'm glad to hear about your business, and maybe this guy over here does. Now, what Christy was saying earlier, hopefully you've done your marketing, you've kind of pre-vetted these people and select people who are looking for what you have. If I'm trying to sell somebody a backup software solution, and they don't have computers that need it backed up, then I've done something horribly wrong with my marketing magnet.
So it's as simple as, like you said, a conversation with someone to understand what they're struggling with and to help them find a solution for that problem, or look at what they ultimately want, what's the end result they want, the transformation they're looking for, and are you able to offer that for them? And really that's the discussion. So it should be a natural conversation. And instead, I think there's a lot of expert advice out there, and I have my air quotes up for those of you that can't see. But there's a lot of expert advice. It's like, these are the 7 steps you go through in this discovery call, and this is how you close it, and this is how you psychologically manipulate the other person.
And I think those things work if the person definitely needs the thing you're selling over here. If you're selling a bottle of water and everyone needs this bottle of water, then you can kind of pre-script this layout for you. But if you're trying to actually discover what best fits the customer, then you can have a template at best, but it's going to be a unique conversation each time.
I think next episode we'll actually focus on Christy's discovery call flow. And it works really well for business to business. It can be modified for business to customer, B2C, but it works really well with B2B. So we'll go through that flow and how it naturally just flows from one section to the next. It'll give you the main elements that you touch on. So you have that guide, but it's not scripted, and it will walk you through the flow. So we'll do that next time. And then maybe after that, the next episode will hit common objections. So we'll make this more of like a 3-part series. So today, the focus is going to be around how do we shift our mindset and look at it differently so that we are not selling, but we're serving others. That's the mindset to put on. And again, you'll hear a lot of controversy around that. You'll hear a lot of people that disagree with it, but I found that those are our highest conversion rates. Josh is really great at going in. He closes, I'd say, 80% of the time when he goes in. That's super high. And it's because he goes in to have a conversation, not to sell. He goes in to serve someone else, to help the other person. And the focus shifts that awkward feeling when you're shifting your focus to another person and what you can do for them and how you can problem solve and help them. It actually takes away that focus within on insecurities, on feeling like it's awkward, like it's weird. It's not weird. They're looking for what you have. So tell them how you can help them. So let's jump into some of the main tips that we'd like to offer you in this first episode, this first of a 3-part series. Now, I guess I'm just deciding it's a 3-part series.
So you always call it serving, and I guess I always call it just discovering and talking to this person. But maybe that's what we start with is, literally, I just talk to people. I said, okay, so tell me what's wrong. What doesn't work?
That's a great way to do it. Again, you're shifting focus from making a sale, get it off of you, and your goal is to make a sale and get it on their goals. What's their dream? What's their vision? And now you're focused on the goals that will lead them to that dream or that vision, and you're off of your goal of closing a sale, right? It's about asking those right questions, like Josh said. You're truly learning what it is they're looking for ultimately, right? Because people buy what they want, not what they need. So you're understanding what they want, transformation-wise and result-wise, and then you are also digging into their why. Why do they want that? And that's going to give you the insight you need in order to naturally flow into a solution.
And half the times the why is more important, I think. And I'm not going to, there's the expression that the customer doesn't know what they want. And it's not that they don't know what they want to do. It's that they don't know how they want to do it. And that why often becomes the most important part of that conversation.
Yeah, we talked about that a little bit. And again, people don't buy products. They don't buy services. They don't buy benefits. They don't buy features. So I don't know why people teach you to sell that way. They buy the outcome. They buy the end result. So if you are offering a service or a product that provides that end result, that outcome, that transformation they're looking for, a way to get them to the dream that they have in their mind, then sales is easy.
Simple example. Computers, you need to back up your computers. Everyone knows that. But I don't talk about backing up computers. Instead, I talk about not worrying about it. People don't want to back up their computers. That's boring. People don't want to be sold a computer backup. Everyone knows they need one. Well, hopefully everyone knows they need one. But instead, let's just talk about, just don't worry about it. We do that. We back it up. We can change that a little bit as opposed to the service of the backup. Talk about the result, which is don't worry about it. We have that backed up.
Right. People will tell you, sell the benefits, sell the features, get the pain point out. Yeah, you want to understand if there's a pain point, but not so much so that you can leverage that pain point to turn it around and sell. Instead, you want to know their pain points and their struggles. What has worked? What hasn't worked? What are they struggling with? Why is there a roadblock from getting from where they are to their dream, to their vision? And your goal is to come in and provide the solution or piece of that solution to get them closer to that dream or that vision. So understanding the why is really, getting deeper as to why, what drives them. Right, that's going to help you understand if your solution is a good fit in the first place. For me, when I'm doing business coaching, a lot of times it's, I want to build this business. I want to grow my business. Well, that's not the why. That's the what. They want the outcome. They want to grow their business. And that's even pretty vague. I'm going to drill down in there and find out specifically why they want to grow that and what parts they want to grow. Is it, it's financial, of course, bottom line, but why? So is that financial freedom? Is it more time with family? They want to hire people. They want help with us coming in to set up a team so that they're not working 80 hours a week. They're working 20 hours a week, still profiting and able to spend time with family and friends. Is it leaving a legacy? Leaving something behind for their kids, setting them up for life. That's one of my big goals, is really the legacy I leave behind for my children and my grandchildren. We have 4 kids, ranging in age from 22 all the way down to just turned 3.
It was unnecessary.
All the way down to age 3. Everything
my oldest moved out last night. Let's just settle it down here.
But when you understand what drives them, number one, you're going to build a connection and trust. But number 2, it's going to help you to be able to customize your solution for them to make sure that you're in line with reaching that end goal or that transformation. So, that's important. I think that another thing that we will touch on later that really deters a lot of business owners from moving forward in the sales process or getting into a sales process. Number one, the ick factor, because they're told, ask for the sale, close the sale, ask for the sale. The flow that I go through, assume the sale. That's right. I don't need to assume the sale. A lot of times I'll just say, are you ready to fill in the blank of what they wanted? Are you ready to grow your business? Are you ready to add $100,000 per year or whatever it is we mapped out? Now, when you're getting there, again, I'll go through the flow next episode, but when you're getting there, as you're discovering, as you're learning the why, what drives them, then it's a natural flow into also finding out, well, what have you done that has worked? What challenges have you faced? Have you done anything that has worked? Let's understand what it is they want, what they've done, and then I can look at, okay, I tell them from there, I'm confident I can help you achieve goal, dream, vision, get here, get up where you want to be. I'm confident I can do that. Would you like to hear what that looks like? Would you like to talk about what that looks like? It's natural. I'm not assuming a sale. Would you like to
people have
hear the map out process?
People have been taught that sales is an adversarial process. The sales guy is here to force this solution on you.
You should be convinced.
You've got to fight back and struggle, and he's going to give it to you for 100, and you can get him down to 80 if you argue with him. And
oh my gosh, no, it's like a battle.
Right.
It's a battle. You know what? And you know what? That's why people come into these discovery calls very defensive. I get a lot of people go, well, what's the price? Just tell me the price and what I get. Like they don't even want it anymore. So that's why I like to open with a conversation. I don't spend an hour connecting, but I do connect a little bit in the beginning, where one of the first questions I ask.
You do get that adversarial guy wants the price, just give them the number. Just watch their faces. Okay, well, the number is here.
Sometimes.
Well, what's the number for?
Sometimes you can ask.
It sounds like we should talk a little bit more because you just asked for a number.
Well, and sometimes I will absolutely say, sure, we can absolutely discuss that. And a trick that I learned in a book that I read was asking him, which number would you like? The number of what you lose out on if you don't do this, or the number that it costs to achieve the dream? Which one would you like to go with? Well, they're probably going to say the dream one, and so you can kind of use that as a break the ice joke, lighten the mood a little bit. But I heard that, or I read that in a book, and I sometimes use that. But really, I don't usually have to, because when you open the call, sort of asking, great, so excited you're here. Tell me what inspired you to reach out. What made you reach out, and what are we looking to achieve? They want to tell you that, so they're going to tell you that. They're going to go into that. You're going to go through the flow. When you get to a point where there's an objection, I feel like a lot of people, here's where that it comes in extra strong. First of all, it's building up because you're trying to convince the whole time. Clue. If you take nothing else away from this, well, I hope you take away the shift your perspective from yourself and your sales goal to others and their actual dream goal. Right. If you're focused on that, that's going to change how you approach sales, how you approach the conversation, and how you offer a solution. But number two big takeaway, if I'm going to give one, is that objections are actually good. It's a sign of engagement, because if somebody just says no and there's no objection and they're closing the call, the conversation is very hard to come from there. You can try to ask for the objection, why or what, but in reality, if there's no objection, that means they're not even engaged in this. So that's where that piece of the conversation can naturally flow into, instead of this negative ick feeling of I'm going to keep pushing. Well, no, we're not going to keep pushing. We're going to find out what's going on. Would you be open to discussing with me, if it's price objection, because that's a common one, right? Would you be open to discussing with me a little bit more about that? And 90% of the time they'll say yes. So 10% will say, no, I'm done. They're off the call. You know what? Christy, whatever it was, $1,500 for 3 months of coaching. It's too much. It's not in the budget. Okay, no problem. And I don't want to talk about it anymore. They're hanging up. But that's like 10%. 90% of people are going to say, sure. And then one of my big questions there, and I'll get into this in another episode during objections, is, is this amount going to prevent you from paying your bills? Or is this amount going to financially impact you to where you can't make payroll? Are we at that point? Is this going to, no, really?
Heard that last week.
Yeah, well, we did. We bought another property, right, when we're at the beach. And the gentleman asked, is a few $100s a month extra going to be a financial strain on you? And when we said no, well, it's easy for him to move forward, right? So that's not the objection. Price is not the objection. There's something else then. So for me, let me back up. If they say the objection's price and you ask them, okay, let me ask you an honest question. Is this coaching program, and getting to your dream over here, is that going to prevent you from paying your bills? If they say yes, I'm going to very politely let them know that I agree. This is not a good fit at this time. I would love to help you do this, but I do think really the focus at this point should be making sure you can get to where you can pay your bills.
Send interest credit cards.
No, I would never want somebody to go bankrupt or be living on the street because of a solution. These solutions should be helping them. Now, times where they say, I'm going to go ahead and invest in this, take the loan because I know the ROI is there for the next 3 months, that's different. But if they say, I can't pay my bills and this isn't a good fit, and honestly, that's not the customer you're looking for anyhow.
Spend the rest of your life chasing
convincing them. You should never be convincing. You should never be convincing. You should be providing the value. You should be educating them on the value and how this gives them exactly what they want. But you should never spend your time convincing. If that's the case, and that was my other big takeaway. If you're spending your entire sales call in a battle convincing, you're doing something very wrong, or you're attracting the wrong people onto those calls. So you got to either change your marketing or change your conversation in the sales process. Because again, I'm never convincing someone. If they tell me they can't pay their bills, this isn't the right fit. And I'm not going to sit there and convince them or push somebody into something that's going to harm them. right? So I think that removes that ick factor because that's not my goal. My goal is not to just close a sale. That's a great bonus. I'd love for that to happen, but that's not my goal. My goal is to help this person. So when I'm looking at it that way and I've shifted my mindset, I've shifted my perspective around that, suddenly I have no desire to now convince somebody that they should not pay their bills and pay me instead. However, 90% of the time I ask that because our marketing is set up correctly, at least in the coaching and the marketing, and we already know kind of budgets. We have some screening things before we get on the phone right with them, right? So honestly, 90% of the time the answer is, well, no. Great. So now I know that price isn't actually the objection. The objection is probably focused around the fact that they don't see the value for that cost, for that price. It's not that the price was the problem that they can't pay it, it's that they didn't see the value for what they're paying. So now it's really, let's talk about that a little bit more, and we can go back to what they wanted, their why and their dream. I'm confident that I can get you this dream, which feeds into this why. And so, tell me, let's talk through this a little more. If you're open to it, it's always, are you open to it? Would you like to? And then at the end, I never just say, let's start Monday. That's not my close. I don't do an assumptive close. I don't care what the experts say. Like I said, 80% close rate, high close rate. I had to go back and look at the numbers because I don't want to be dishonest on it, but high close rates, highest close rates, higher than using assumptive close is, are you ready to insert dream to get for why? That's what it is. Desired outcome transformation. Are you ready to desired transformation? And then let them decide. This is where the little psychology hack comes in. The reason assumptive closes for most people feel icky is because you're taking away the person's choice. People like to have a choice. They like to be the one making the decision. So you give that to them. Are you ready to this? You're now empowering them to make the decision, to take the action necessary to reach their transformation goal, to reach their desired outcome. So you're empowering someone to make the choice. It's still their choice. So for me, that works so much better. Number one, my close rates much better than assumptive close. Number two, it takes that ick factor out of it so that you don't feel icky about it. You're empowering someone else to make a choice. It's up to them. You're not convincing, you're not pushing. There's not that hard sale that everybody is talking about, that pressure. There's no pressure. If you can still pay your bills and you want to get to dream, and I can get you to dream or help you get to dream, are you ready to do that? Are you ready to get to dream to fulfill why? That's what it is. It's an equation. That you should appreciate, right? He loves like logical equations and mathematical flows and logic. So let's go into a little bit more on making that offer feel natural. Again, I'm against the assumptive close. I like that.
You have to remember, you can't make the offer feel natural if you've been shoving a solution down someone's throat the whole time.
Agreed.
If you get to this point and you've honestly taken the time to have a conversation with them.
No, okay.
Yeah, no, sometimes it is. I mean, sometimes it is.
No, I meant if you were pushing, wasted your time. But go ahead, if you're having the conversation.
Yeah, if you're having an honest conversation with the potential new client, and you're talking with them, and you get to the point where you're ready to make that quote sales pitch, and my air quotes are up. Like you said, if you've had an honest conversation and what you have for them can fix the problem that they're dealing with, you're not making a hard sales pitch. Instead, you're saying, so did you want to do that? Did you want to fix the problem?
Are you ready? That's my big one. Are you ready to reach insert goal for insert why? Super easy formula, super easy flow. It should be a natural extension of the conversation, right? By the time you get to this point, you've established the clear understanding of what their dream or their vision is, what transformation they're looking to achieve. And then exactly, you've told them exactly how you can help, because if you follow my flow, which we'll go through next time, maybe I should have done it first, but we'll do it next time, you're going to map out for them at a high level what that looks like. Right? So you're showing them that I can do this. Here's my plan. I've already put it together. Here it is. Are you ready to do this? Are you ready? Let's do it. You know, that kind of thing. Get them excited. And now they're empowered to make the choice, and it's up to them. So you're simply offering a solution to what they want. You're offering up on a silver platter exactly what they desire. Their transformation, their outcome, their result. I can't say it enough times. I've already given you a couple of key takeaways. Shifting your perspective is number one. And then number two is, again, the fact that you should never be convincing. Something is very wrong. Attracting the wrong people in your marketing process, getting on the phone or getting in front of the wrong people. And or number two, you don't have the right call flow for that discovery call. Something is very wrong if you're convincing the whole time. And no wonder you're miserable. I mean, on sales calls, no wonder people dread them. If you had to get into this mode of let's go into battle and we're going to convince, I mean, it should be a natural conversation, and asking or offering the solution or the opportunity to move forward to reach their dream should be the logical next step. It should flow naturally in the conversation. Are you ready? And so I'll give you some verbiage to use next time. To help with that sales call flow. And I don't even call it a sales call. I call it discovery call, because that's really what you're doing. You're discovering what it is they ultimately want, and you're identifying if you have that solution.
Like you said, there's an assumption that your marketing has filtered down people that are in fact looking for what you're selling. But if it hasn't, then you're not selling anything. And that's why you call it a discovery call, because in some cases you're discovering that your marketing wasn't very good.
That's right. You're discovering that you need to redo some marketing. We can help with that, by the way. If you want to reach out, we can help with that. Help with a lot of things, actually. So another big thing is, even before the sales process, and we're going to go, since we're talking about marketing, it's a perfect opportunity to mention that a lot of people, they've been taught this idea that if you share everything, not just the what, but the how to, that you're not going to get the sale. They're just going to do it themselves. You've lost out. So don't give it all away. And I actually just recorded a video. I think it's on YouTube. If you look it up under the Profitability Pathmaker, there's a video that says, go ahead, give it all away. Yeah, Profitability Pathmaker. Those of you listening can't see us pointing to my Profitability Pathmaker behind us. But no, really, I made a video. It's called Go Ahead, Give It All Away. And the reason for that is absolutely, just like I disagree with assumptive closes and some of the expert sales flows, processes, techniques, psychological tricks, whatever you want to call them. I disagree with that. Our sales conversions are much higher, not using those and using this flow. But the other big thing I disagree with, many experts, and again, my air quotes are up with experts because everybody's an expert nowadays, is that really giving it all away is like pre-selling. You're establishing trust and credibility from the start. And so when someone is now looking for that, you're popping up in the front of their mind. Well, this person offered so much just freely to help me. And that doesn't just mean through YouTube. I'll go into a potential client's office. We just had a med spa recently, and they're really struggling. They're losing staff. They don't have marketing set up. Things are kind of just crashing down around them. And they called, and for free, I mean, there's no charge. I just talked with them for 20 minutes one time, 30 minutes another time, and just kind of guided them through some of the steps. Here's what you need to do. Here's the first steps. Here's the next step. Here's the next stage. Let me give you everything I know to be able to help you to get there. And I just gave it. But guess what? 95% of people will not implement or cannot implement. They either don't have the necessary resources to implement that, or whether that's time, money, people, whatever it is, or they don't have the desire. They're like, yeah, it's great knowledge. Oh, God, I got the whole playbook in front of me. I will give you the playbook. In fact, I think I have. If you put your email in, and I will put a link under here, you can actually go get a full playbook of just how to scale a business. I'll give you the foundations. I'll give you all the how-tos. If you send me an email, if you reach out to us through nextlevelconnected.com or comment below if you're on YouTube or social media, ask. I will absolutely, no charge, help you in any way I can. But 95% of people won't implement. And that's why they still come to you and buy my business coaching programs, buy my individual coaching programs, buy our digital marketing services, our website services, our IT services. That is why, because they don't implement it. So you can give it all away. So pre-selling really happens by building up that trust. And so when they think about, this is what I want, how do I get there? You come to the front of their mind, right? You come to the front of their mind and they're thinking, this is somebody that I can go to and trust. They know what they're doing. They give me a lot of good how-tos. They give me a lot of tips I can use. If they come to me individually, I'll give them customized tips and plans, not generic like this. And then they feel confident coming back and saying, you know what, Christy? Sometimes it's a couple months later. And, oh, you know what, Christy? Can your team do my ads for me? Can they redo my website for me? Can you come in and actually do business coaching and help us find we want to increase by $200,000 in the next 18 months, whatever it is. So don't be afraid to give it all away, and don't be afraid to actually focus on giving back to others, right? That's a really great way to connect. So that's a big one. So wrapping up, because I know we are always way over time, because on here it's like I like to talk, but that's another thing. Make sure that they are doing 90% of the talking on that discovery call. You should be doing the learning. You're doing the listening, and that's not listening to hear. That's listening to understand, so you can see it through their lens, through their eyes, and actually provide a customized solution.
Wrapping up, this is providing.
This is the talk time for me. This is my talk time. I get on discovery call, I'm listening. It's my talk time. So I've already given a couple of major key takeaways for today, but I'm going to give one more piece of advice. Key takeaway, if you will. Sales doesn't have to feel icky. It doesn't have to feel forced. And frankly, if it does feel forced, if you feel like you're in a battle, you feel like you're on there convincing, you feel awkward, it's disjointed, it's feeling like you have to ask for all this stuff, you're doing something wrong. I don't know if it's your marketing, I don't know if it's your conversational flow, something is wrong. I'd love to help you with it. So feel free to reach out and we can certainly work through that and get you a customized flow or script that we go through. And by script, I don't mean read a script. I mean a flow you can follow, right?
We're talking about having a conversation as opposed to selling someone something. But at the end of the day, you need to get certain information so that you can understand the solution and if your products fit their needs. And so, there's a natural flow that we can go through.
Absolutely. And next episode, I'll go through a basic flow. I'll give you the foundations. Like there's 6 main pieces that I put together, segments of a discovery call. And I kind of use that to really organize that call and make sure that we hit main points and that we're flowing the way we need to end in a conversion, really, or to end with a solution for the person. Because again, my biggest takeaway from today is really learning to shift your mindset from selling to serving. And what I mean by that is when you shift your focus to others, everything's going to change, including your conversions. When you shift your focus from your goal of closing a sale to their goal of reaching their dream or their transformation or the desired outcome, it is going to flow more naturally. You're going to remove the ick from that for both of you. You're going to take away that wall they put up. You're going to allow them to let their guard down to allow you to come in and help them. And I bet you're going to close, if you will, or convert a whole lot more of your sales conversations, your discovery call conversations. So, that's what I would recommend. That's my key takeaway. Shift your mindset from selling to serving. Shift your mindset from focusing on closing as your goal to their goal of whatever it is. And stop trying to convince people. Really, stop trying to convince people. Sales should never be convincing, should never be a battle, should never be pushing or forcing someone. It should be offering an opportunity to reach their dream outcome. So that's it for today. I hope you found this helpful. If you did, if you're on YouTube, definitely click subscribe and drop us a comment. Let us know if you have any questions or you need advice around your discovery call process. And we will see you on the next episode of Above the Noise.
And that wraps up another empowering episode of Above the Noise with the Profitability Pathmaker. I'm Christy Wilson, and it's been an absolute pleasure to share this time with you. I hope today's journey has armed you with valuable insights and strategies to propel your business and personal brand to the next level. Remember, every setback is just a setup for a comeback. So keep pushing, keep dreaming, and never be afraid to be a little loud about your goals. We've got a whole world to impress, and I can't wait to see where your journey takes you next. Until next time, keep making waves and rising above the noise. Cheers to your success, and I'll see you on the next episode.